Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to fill in a blank unit circle. So if you look at each quadrant, they are each divided into three equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So again, each quadrant is divided into thirds. In that case, the entire unit circle is divided into 12 equal parts. So one time around the unit circle is in terms of 2 pi, in terms of radians is 2 pi. So it's 2 pi, we start at 0, we go once around, and that's 2 pi. So I just said that the entire unit circle has been divided into 12 equal parts. So it consists of 2 pi divided into 12 equal parts is pi over 6. That means that each of those pieces is a measure of pi over 6. So that's pi over 6, that's pi over 6. All this is a measure of that. So each third will be a measure of pi over 6. Okay, so let's count that out. We have 1 pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, which is 2 sixths a third, so that's pi over 3. 3 pi over 6, 3 sixths is a half, so that's pi over 2. 4 pi over 6, 4 sixths is 2 thirds, that's 2 pi over 3. 5 pi over 6. 6 pi over 6, which is just pi, because 6 over 6 is 1. 7 pi over 6. 8 pi over 6. 8 6 is 4 thirds, so that's 4 pi over 3. 9 pi over 6. 9 6 is 3 halves, so it's 3 pi over 2. 10 pi over 6. 10 6 is 5 thirds, so that's 5 pi over 3. 11 pi over 6. And 12 pi over 6, but 12 over 6 is 2. Okay, so now let's go back to each quadrant, and we see that each quadrant is divided into 2 equal parts, right? So 1, 2, so it's split in half. 1, 2, 1, 2. Each quadrant is split into half. So if each quadrant is divided into 2 equal parts, that means the entire unit circle has been divided into 8 equal parts. So that would be, each of those parts would be a measure of pi over 4. So let's count that out. From 0 to here, it's 1 pi over 4. From here to here would be 2 pi over 4. But 2/4 is a half. And then the next half, 3 pi over 4. 4 pi over 4 for the next half, which is just pi. 5 pi over 4. 6 pi over 4, but 6/4 is 3 halves. 7 pi over 4. And then 8 pi over 4, and 8 over 4 is 2. All right, those are all our radians on the unit circle. Now let's look at the degrees. So one revolution around the unit circle in terms of degrees is 360 degrees. So we start at 0, we go once around, and that's 360. So again, my little scratch work down here, I have 360. 360 degrees can be divided into 12 equal parts. That means each part is a measure of 30. So each third, right, it's 30, 30, 30. Each third is a measure of 30. So let's count that out. From 0 to here is 30 degrees. And then here to here is 60. Plus another 30 is 90. Plus another 30 is 120. Another 30 is 150. Plus another 30 is 180. Plus another 30 is 210. Plus another 30 is 240. Plus another 30 is 270. Plus another 30 is 300. Plus another 30. Definitely part of the dog. Plus another 30 is 360. Okay, so then if you see one of those parts is divided into a half. It's split down the middle. So it's divided into two pieces, 1, 2. So this, if one of these pieces is 30, then each half would be 15, right? 30 divided by 2 is 15. So let's count that out. 30 plus 15 is 45. 120 plus 15 is 135. 210 plus 15 is 225. 300 plus 15 is 315. All right, so those are all our degrees. Now all we have to do is put down the points on the unit circle. So this one, right? All these points. Okay. So I want to start with the points on the axes. So the points on the x and y axis. So this is the x and this is the y. So since this is the unit circle, and this point here is 1, 0, because we go out 1, we don't go up or down. This point here is 0, 1, since we don't go left or right, we just go up 1. This point here is negative 1, 0, because we go left 1, not up or down. This point here is 0, negative 1, because we go down 1 and we don't go left and right. Left or right. So now I want to fill in these points here. Okay, all of these. So let's just fill in quadrant 1, because once you start with quadrant 1, then once you fill in quadrant 1, quadrants 2, 3, and 4 are easy. So write this. All right, so the middle points are always square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. Those are all the middle points. So the only numbers you're going to see here are 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to take the square roots of the numerators. So you'll see that it'll just be 1, square root of 1 is 1, and then we have the square root of 2 and square root of 3 will be like left alone because those are irrational. But all the denominators are 2. Okay. Then we have to worry about 1/2 and the square root of 3/2. Now, the way I think of it is that the square root of 3/2 is larger than a half. Square root of 3/2 is 0.86, a little over 0.86. And 1/2 is 0.5. So since this point is higher, then my y value has to be the square root of 3 over 2 because it's larger. This point's lower, so my y value will be 1/2 because 1/2 is smaller. So that's how I see it. And then the other point has to be 1/2 here and the square root of 3 over 2 here. And you can also just write 1, 2, 3 here, and then 1, 2, 3 here. You take the square roots of everything, square root of 1 is 1, but the square root of 3 and square root of 2 stay because they're irrational. Now, once you have this quadrant filled out, then it's just copying. Now, if you look at quadrant 2, the points in quadrant 2 that are directly across the point in quadrant 1 are the same. So like this point would be 1/2 square root of 3 over 2, except 1/2 would be negative because we're in quadrant 2. We moved left, so x's are negative. Here we're going across. Again, middles are always square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2. And again, x is negative. So the point across, that's negative square root of 3 over 2, 1/2. So everything's the same except the x's are negative. Now, to fill out the bottom half of the unit circle, I look at these points, the inside points, these points and these points. The points that are inside are the same as each other. So these points are the same as these. So they're both square root of 3 over 2, 1/2. But of course, depending on what quadrant you're in, the signs will change. So these will both be negative. X and y are both negative. For here, only the y is negative. But the x will be positive. The x will stay positive. Okay. Um, the middle points are always square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2, quadrant 3, they're both negative. Square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2, quadrant 4, y is negative. Okay, so now we have the lowest points here. Those are the same as the highest points in the top half of the unit circle. So these points are the same. So we have 1/2 square root of 3 over 2. Of course, they're both negative because we're in quadrant 3. This point will be 1/2 negative square root of 3 over 2. And that's it. That is how you write up the unit circle. So I hope that helped. And yeah, pretty, not too bad, but you know, just as far as the degrees are concerned, you just divide it into 12 equal parts. Each part is 30. And then in the middle one, it's 15 away from that first point. So 15. And then for the radians, we divide it into 12 equal parts, and then 8, and count that out. And then we have all our points. Square root of 2 over 2 is always in the middle. And for the square root of 3 over 2 and 1/2, square root of 3 over 2 is larger. So I know that the y value for here has to be square root of 3 over 2 because it's bigger than 1/2. So the y value here is 1/2 because this point is lower. And you can also think of it as you write 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, take all the square roots. 1 is a perfect square, so it's just square root of 1 is 1, and then these stay square root of 2 and square root of 3. Okay, guys, well, that is all I have for today, and I will talk to you on the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.